Sean.
Hey, Shannon there?
Yes?
Alright. Could you put her on the phone?
What?
Could you put her on the phone?
I didn't hear what you said before. What?
Could you put her on the phone?
Shannon's here, but she's busy right now.
Alright.
And honestly,
So, tried to call her hoping that she would listen. I typed to her, "You called me a terrible person, Shannon. That's just mean." When I was at the, McDonald's up there in Bozeman, I was severely overwhelmed and having a severe panic attack. I really wanted to blow my goddamn head off, and I didn't have a gun. And I was screaming, obviously, I'm having a fucking meltdown. The last thing I need is someone talking over me. So Shannon called, and I recorded the phone call. And, yeah, I'm seriously overwhelmed. If I'm overwhelmed, that's probably not the best time to talk over me. So, for the first time since May of last year, I screamed at her. I didn't scream at her the whole time I was at her house. But that once, I really needed her to listen or not fucking call me. But she called me drunk to talk over me, like she always does. So, her reply to me today. See, when I made that video, she called me up and told me I was a terrible person. And so did Rick. They didn't try to understand. That was the problem. She typed back to me today when I typed to her that she called me a terrible person and it's just mean. She typed that she has never called me a terrible person. And more harm than good, how so? Well, she did call me a horrible person, or a terrible person. She did more harm than good by this texting thing. Just texting, but not listening. That's the thing, everything comes out wrong in texting. Just one word can completely change the meaning of it. And I'm completely overwhelmed. And, every time I call to talk to her, it's her turn to talk. That's why, after making that video at McDonald's, I screamed at her. That's why I try to call her, hoping that this once she'll be sober enough to listen. With Rick, well, Shannon sends these little short voice clips. And I got a few of them where he's screaming in the background. I don't want to talk to Rick. I don't. I have no interest in talking to Rick. I have an interest in Shannon sobering up long enough to hear what I have to say, without going out of her way to take everything personal, like everything is an insult. I didn't take her screaming while I was there as an insult. I didn't take it as her being a terrible person, but it shut me down. That's the problem, is that too much has happened to me. I'm never going to have a safe environment. I'm never going to have the money for a lawyer. I'm never going to have a family that cares. Ever. They can't take the time out of their busy schedule. My little sister, at least. She takes the time to listen to me and also to let me know what's up in her life. Once in a great while, but it's something, and I'm glad for it. With Shannon, I'm supposed to understand how she feels after losing her aunt. I lost a lot of people too. But I didn't have a roof over my head. I didn't have any family support. My dad, he wanted to throw money at things that money doesn't fix because you're throwing it in the wrong direction. But he didn't want to understand that because he's always right and I'm always wrong. And that's the issue here. I don't want to talk to people that don't listen. But I try. I don't make Shannon drink. And that's the thing that people who go through this understand. Shannon's a mean drunk. But I know how to deal with mean drunks. It's a lot easier if there's somebody else for them to go off on. So I was very grateful for Rick being there. Because he took the brunt of it. When she invited me to go back to California, there's two major issues with that. One, Rick hates me. So, if Rick's there, then I have a non-stop panic attack because Rick hates me. If Rick's not there, then I become the target of Shannon's aggression. While I was there, I wasn't the target of her aggression. Rick was the target of her aggression, and Chris was the target of her aggression, and I was the person that she complained to. I was overwhelmed. See, it's not a matter of exposing them as terrible people, because they're not. Rick's overwhelmed, Shannon's overwhelmed. It's a matter of showing why it is that I shut down. By Shannon's own admission, I never yelled at anyone while I was there. Right now, I'm thinking about cutting open a vein. That's difficult to do. I have to be under extreme duress to do that. I tried to do that in the Boulder County Jail in August. Those cops were that mean. That's the thing, is that at Shannon's, she's the boss. It's her house. I have to take it, I have to listen to it, or I have to leave, and I needed her mailbox. It was a very frustrating situation. If she's busy, but I'm not going to deal with Rick.